let's go ahead and get started. I am so excited for today to share the 2025 PC Care Manual updates with you all. This has been, just so you know, a year-long process. We have been working on this update for a very long time, and we are just so excited to share it with you all today. So I've got a lot of things that I want to present to you all today. We're going to start with what the revision process was in creating this manual. I'm going to talk to you about how to access the manual and then updates in the manual. And then we have very fun things of how to incorporate the Learning Center, as well as I'm going to introduce you to the PC Connect app. So let's start with the revision process. The content updates to the manual were originally created based on concerns and ideas for improvement that we've received via email and via conversations with providers, families in treatment, and our trainers. We used all of this feedback to review every single page of the manual. No page was left untouched. We incorporated the feedback that we've received. We also updated based on new research and our experiences with PC Care, and we made updates to be more consistent with the PC Care Learning Center. Additionally, as we did all of these content updates, we regularly consulted with trainers and our EDI consultants who reviewed all of our content for any final edits before we released it. In terms of design, you're going to notice that a lot of design updates have been made. We went through this in a few different ways. First, we had a collaboration with the International Rescue Committee, and the collaboration was to create a protocol for forcibly displaced children and their families. While we were working with them, their illustrator, Maggie Simon, developed new visuals for the skills that were intended to convey meaning but be relatable to members of various cultural groups. We fell in love with these beautiful art designs that she made, and we asked if we could use them in the standard manual, and she agreed. So you'll get to see them here in our manual. Our PC Care Learning Center website designer, Lara Lyko, also helped us develop a brand kit with colors, fonts, and style ideas. So you'll see a lot of shifts in that in the manual as well. And then our admin team, and specifically Deanna, I need to call out Deanna Boyce for the amazing work that she has done in putting this manual together. We updated the design based on this brand kit, as well as suggestions from many of our providers, families, and trainers, our own personal experience using the manual. And we did research into color and design to best support accessibility. We're very excited for all of these updates. So let's talk about how you can access the manual. The manual is now housed on the UC Davis PCIT and PC Care website. It is no longer housed or available through the SharePoint. In fact, that's a slightly incorrect statement. As of this moment right now, there is still access through SharePoint, but we will be removing that uh, within a few days, at which point your only access to the manual will be through the website. Why, you might be asking, is it only in one place? Why isn't it a million places like it used to be? Well, the manual is now more like an ebook, and then we did this on purpose. The table of contents within the ebook are clickable. So there's a main table of contents that will take you to all the individual sections or to individual pages. And then each section has a table of contents that is also clickable. So it is very easy to get around in the manual. But we also no longer have individual forms, which means that there are not 5 different variations of forms floating around. All of the updates will happen in one place, so you know that if you come to this one website, you are getting the most up-to-date PC Care manual. You can print directly from the manual right from online. There's a print option. You can also save single pages or groups of pages as PDF files so that you can send them to caregivers. You do this with the print to PDF function. So online, you'll be looking at a PDF document, and if you choose print and you choose print to PDF and choose the specific page numbers that you want to print, it will create a single page, two page, however many page PDF document for you that you can then share with caregivers. And then we are also still going to have our fillable forms page so that you can still download single page downloads of the fillable forms. One important thing to note is that there is there's no password for the manual. It is just on the website. So you also don't have to remember what your password is or worry about it not working anymore. You can just go on the website and access the manual. First, the heading colors. We wanted to separate the different sections by heading color to make it as easy as possible for you to know exactly what you're grabbing. So all of our headings that are orange are going to be materials for providers. These are things like your protocol or any resources for providers. Teal headers are our skills for the different sessions. Green headers are for calming. Pink headers are for our stress reactions handouts, and these different green headers are for the trauma handouts, and then aqua headers are for difficult behaviors. We wanted stress and trauma to have different color headers because they're so similar, and we wanted it to be easy for you to know that you're grabbing the correct handout. Moving on to our progress graph, you'll notice that it looks very different than the current progress graph. There are now graphs for pride skills and daily care in addition to your WACB graph. The goal of this is to make it even easier for parents to see that when their pride skills increase and they're doing daily care, their children's WACB scores are decreasing. Additionally, there are places at the bottom for PC Care Learning Center and the PC Connect Daily Care app. Here, parents are going to check mark whether they used either of these resources during that week. We also have the progress graph in fillable form. So this is for if you're doing telehealth or you would just rather use the fillable form for your progress graph. This is an Excel sheet that has 4 specific sheets on it. One for entering data for one caregiver, and then the graphs for one caregiver, entering data for two caregivers, and then the graphs for two caregivers. Within the enter data sections, you'll be able to enter WACB scores, pride skills, days of daily care, and whether or not the caregiver used the Learning Center or the PC Connect app. When entering information about the Learning Center and PC Connect app, just put a 1. This is the best way for it to show up on the graph. Once you enter your information, it will auto-populate onto the correct graph page. You can see what this looks like here. We have bar graphs for the WACB scores going down, line graphs for the pride skills going up, and bar graphs for daily care. And there are items at the top of those bar graphs for daily care that indicate whether the parent used the Learning Center or the PC Connect app. Additionally, we have lots of resources in the manual. We have the Maximizing the WACB N form, which we also had in the previous manual but has been expanded and updated. For this, you're going to see all of the WACB-N items, help you think through possible causes, where and when it might be manifesting, and then possible interventions that might be very helpful for this particular behavior. And then additionally, you're going to see an in-clinic parallel. This might be specific real-life situations to consider or ways to incorporate these behaviors into play. We also have handouts on giving feedback on your measures and tips for reviewing measures with parents, as well as your coaching levels and level 3 coaching worksheets. In the protocol, there are a few important updates that I want to highlight. First, in bold on the right column, you'll see that the forms that are needed in each section are in a forms needed part and they are highlighted in bold. This is to make it as easy as possible for you to grab just the forms you need and get started. When you use those forms in the protocol, they will be bolded as well. So you know just what you need in every moment. The other thing that we changed is to make the check in 10 minutes long. It used to be 7, and now it's just 10 minutes. We found that there's no difference and that sometimes you need 10 minutes for check in. It does not impact your ability to complete the rest of your session. Using a 10-minute check in means that your session will be between 50 and 55 minutes long. Additionally, I'm so excited for this. We added a session checklist for kids. This is a great way to help include kids more in your sessions. You can see the session checklist is very basic. Welcome is already checked off for you because by the time you're reviewing it, you've already said hello. Talk together is your check in time. Learn is your didactic. Playtime is obviously the best time. And then talk about playtime is your checkout. And then say goodbye. There's a space here that children can draw if they want to. It might be a great activity during check ins so that they have something to do, but it's not a requirement for them to draw. This is also a nice transition. It helps you keep them focused throughout session, gives you opportunities to praise them, and then transition to the next part of treatment. Our coding instructions have also changed. The standard instructions for sessions 1 to 5 are the same as they've always been. But our 12-minute observation coding instructions have been improved. They've been significantly reduced and simplified to make life easier for you and for your parents. So here are the observation instructions. For the first one, for the next 4 minutes, let your child choose any play activity. Follow their lead and play along with them. And start your timer. After 4 minutes, thank you. Now we'll switch to the second activity. For the next 4 minutes, please choose a new play activity. You lead the activity and keep your child playing with you. Start your timer. 4 minutes later, thank you. The next 4 minutes is cleanup time. Have your child put the toys away without your help. I will be quiet until 4 minutes is done. Start your timer. The goal is to make this as close to the type of words that we would want to use while still being clear to the parents on what we want them to do. Then we have orientation to treatment. We have streamlined the content on these forms to make it easier to review with families. We've also added examples of values because sometimes it can be very hard for parents to identify their values. We gave a few different types of values that we often hear in PC care. Things like unconditional love, self expression, respect, success. This is a nice way for parents to start thinking about what their values are. And then on the session outline side, we have a cleaner design with the table. We also included the pre-treatment session in the session outline to be consistent with the previous page, which says that PC care is a 7-session intervention. And it just clarifies pre-treatment is what we're doing today. And we have 6 more sessions after this. Our skills handouts have been significantly updated. You'll notice that all of the skills for a session will be on one form with different section headers. The section headers are there to help you explain why we're using these skills. Our skills have also been updated. The columns read skill, example, reason. Previously, they read skill, reason, example. We found that as we teach to parents and children, it's just easier for us to name a skill, give an example of it, and then explain why we use it. And so we wanted the handout to follow that as much as possible. Additionally, we have new blue blobs. These are the updated illustrations that we have, and we love them, and I hope that you enjoy them as well. In session 1, skills continuing beyond the pride skills, we have separated the avoids into 2 different boxes. First, we avoid negative attention by avoiding no, don't, stop, quit, not, and avoiding criticisms. And then we let your child lead during play by reducing commands and questions. We thought this was very helpful because we want to avoid criticisms for different reasons than we want to reduce questions and commands. And this helps aid that conversation with parents. Additionally, we removed the command example in the avoids. Previously, it said, um, stop running and instead say, please walk. But then it became confusing for parents when a few moments later you tell them to avoid commands. So now the example reads, avoid, good job not throwing a fit, and instead do say, great job staying calm. Also, all of our skills handouts now have a QR link to the PC Care Learning Center. This is a great way for you to encourage parents to go to the Learning Center and dive deeper into all the skills that you're teaching. Finally, in session one skills, we have set your child up for success with transitions and adjusting the environment. You'll notice that we updated examples for all of the skills throughout the manual as well. Our session checklists have also been updated. They're mostly the same, but we did include a reminder to give feedback about the caregiver's skill use and child response after the observation. There's also a reminder to use your session checklist for children. Our daily care has changed substantially. This is the front of the form. Just like before, we are going to track playtime. So up at the top, parents can write the date and check yes if they completed daily care and then write the toys that they played with. Under that, we have all of the strategies that we're going to teach, and the characters next to them are their corresponding characters from the Learning Center. We just want parents to check any strategies that they used during the week. At the bottom, we have notes for the week, what's going well and what's been difficult. You might have parents fill this out over the week and then they can come to you with that information. Or you might have parents that forget to do it or don't do it. And then it becomes a great place for you to take notes on what's going well and what's been difficult during your check in. The back of the daily care is also very different. Up at the top is our space to create a plan for the week. We want parents to think about what their goal is for the week and how they're going to help their child achieve it. So, our example here is a challenging behavior of dawdling, stalling, and delaying. And then our goal behavior is doing things quickly, and a possible praise would be thank you for cleaning up quickly. Now, you try is a time for you and the parent to sit down during checkout and decide what is the behavior you want to work on this week? What is the goal behavior that you want to see instead? And have the parent come up with an idea of a praise or a description they can use for that goal behavior. Under that, there's a reminder of resources for parents. There's a QR code that will lead them to the PC Care Learning Center and a QR code that will lead them to the PC Connect app. Just have them check whether they used either of those resources this week. And at the end, there's a kids zone space for kids to draw and be part of homework. This is not a requirement, but if kids want to participate in the actual homework sheet, this is a place where they can draw a picture of daily care and what their favorite toy was this week. In session two, the big update is that we have changed the term selective attention to strategic attention. This is because selective attention is a specific cognitive psychology term that means being able to focus on one thing when there's distractors around you, which is different than the way we describe it to parents. We wanted there to be a term that when parents Googled it, they're only going to see the type of information that we want them to see. And strategic attention does that and really conveys the purposefulness of what we want parents to do. Additionally, you're going to see strategic attention is incorporated into the examples for the other skills because we know that redirect and modeling tend to work best when they are coupled with strategic attention. And so this just gives you a way to talk to parents about that. We've also updated the calming and coping skills handout. There's only one now. There used to be one for younger and older kids. Now there's just one handout, so you don't have to worry about which one to print. Our actual skills have changed substantially on these as well. They've changed based on feedback about wanting skills that make more sense to kids and are more culturally relevant across various cultures. Up first, we have squeezing a ball or Play Doh. This is described as doing it in actuality with a ball or a Play Doh. It can also be visual or imaginary. Hot drink breathing is breathing in the smell of your favorite hot drink and then blowing out to cool it down. Finger breathing is breathing in as you go up your finger and breathing out as you trace down and doing this for your whole hand. Bubble breathing is either actually using a bubble wand or pretending to use a bubble wand to create bubbles. Our silly face contest, as always. And then noodle or bean takes the place of robot ragdoll. This is being an uncooked noodle or bean that's very, very stiff, and then hopping into water and slowly becoming a cooked floppy noodle or squishy bean. And then we have draw a rainbow, which can be done as just imagery like it was previously, or can become more active for kids by having them draw a rainbow as their parent describes the things that go along with each of the colors. And then coloring as art and art as always. For co-regulation, it's mostly the same, but we added describe the space, which is really a grounding five senses type of intervention where parents are going to start noticing and describing the space around them to help kids also come feel things around them, notice things in the room, smells, sounds, tastes, to help kids ground and come into the present moment. Additionally, what used to be called sensory activities has been changed to be calming environment and has been expanded a little bit as well. In session 3, we have just a few small updates. The rules reason clearly describes the three parts of the rule, having a clear expectation for behavior, a positive consequence for following the rule, and a negative consequence for breaking the rule. And our when then examples now say you rather than the child's name in third person. Session 4 has changed a lot. The actual skills are the same, but the way that it's presented looks very, very different. We're going to start with just effective commands on the first page. You're going to explain effective commands and then calmly tell your child exactly what to do, then wait. And then on the second page, you're going to talk about how to help your child learn to follow directions with consistent consequences and praise for following directions. Then we have what you need to know about privileges. This is previously the left-hand column on the session 4 handout. Goes over one warning only, follow through, choosing well, logical consequences, using 3 or fewer privileges, and taking privileges away for shorter periods of time, always making sure that kids start the day fresh. Then we have the removal of privilege script. It's bigger, so it's easier for parents to follow, and there's pictures that go along with it. The colors of each of the components match the colors in the video on the Learning Center, so there's more consistency there as well. The full script is not included. Instead, we have the first part of the script and then a reminder to repeat the warn, wait, remove privilege sequence up to 2 more times. So you will need to talk to parents about what that looks like. And then at the end, we have the what if section that reminds parents after removing 3 privileges, you don't want to keep removing privileges. Instead, maintain authority by either completing the task for your child, ending the activity, or redirecting to something more fun. And remember when you're talking about this to emphasize that we are not telling parents they should always complete the task for their child if the child refuses and doesn't do it. In some circumstances, that will be the thing to do. If you need to get to the car and the child refuses to go to the car, the parent might need to carry the child to the car. But in other circumstances, like if the instruction was to put the dishes away, if the child refuses to do it, they go through 3 privileges. Then a better way to end that would be for the parent to end the activity, move on to something else, and then later come back, talk to the child, and have them complete their chore at that time. Finally, there is a flow chart for visual learners with a reminder to praise anytime that the child does complete the task. In session 5, our example for redo clarifies that we give instructions for the redo. So try that again, try putting it away gently, or when you put it away gently, then we can get the next toy, not just modeling for the child. And in recovery, there's a reminder to use 10 pride skills in between commands, as well as the more reparative recovery with calming and co regulation after a difficult situation. Our session 6, All Strategies, has also significantly changed. Here we have everything on 3 pages, but you'll see that they are broken up by sections. And each skill is going to have the name of the skill, the picture, and one example. Our session 6, Problem Behaviors and Solutions handout, has a new name. It's now called Tips for Managing Future Behaviors. And it's the same thing, but expanded. So, just like before, you have a behavior, a possible concern, where and when it might show up, and then possible interventions. We've updated these to be a little bit more inclusive, to have more ideas, and give you more to talk about with parents as well. We also are going to have many updates to our appendices. Our appendices are not yet ready on the website, but they will be soon. They will be released as they are ready. So you're going to see new appendices coming out regularly over the next few weeks and months. In addition to the appendices that we currently have, you're going to see new appendices, including PC Care for Visits, which is our protocol for working with parents during reunification, PC Care for Forcibly Displaced Families, and a compressed model, which is a shortened version of PC Care that combines sessions 2 and 3 and sessions 4 and 5 so that PC Care is only 5 sessions long. One big change for the appendices is that they are going to have all of the handouts. So we've gotten much feedback that it's difficult when the appendices only have the changed handouts in them, and then you have to find all of the other unchanged handouts in the standard manual. So instead, we are making each appendix its own full manual. So you'll be able to go directly into that appendix and print out a whole section and be totally ready for your session rather than having to look between the standard manual and the appendix. All right, that's it for the new manual, but I want to take a minute to talk about how to incorporate the Learning Center into your manual or into your PC Care treatment with the new manual. So we've incorporated the Learning Center on many handouts. We really want you to think about using it during check-in. When you review the daily care sheet, notice if they marked that they used the Learning Center. Check in about how. Did they use it? Was it helpful? What did they find most helpful? And then during your didactics, you might find it helpful to show a video from the Learning Center or to show part of a section. You won't be able to review an entire section of the Learning Center within your 10-minute didactic. However, you might be able to pick and choose pieces that you think will resonate well with the family. And no matter what, at the end of your didactic, make sure to highlight the QR code and encourage the parent to check out the Learning Center to see more resources. Tell them what they will find there. And then finally, during checkout, when you assign daily care and you're identifying your plan for the week, remind them about the Learning Center and to check it off if they go. And we're very excited. Coming very soon, within the next 2 months or so, we will have completion certificates for the Learning Center. This will be for anyone who wants a certificate, providers, therapists, parents, anyone. And the certificate will say that they completed 12 hours of online learning. It won't be CE credits yet, but we're hopeful that next spring, when we do our renewal for CE credits, we'll be able to add the Learning Center, and then we can start offering APA CE credits. In the meantime, the website is still freely available to anyone. They can go in, hop around. They don't need to do the course. But if you do want the course, if you want to get a certificate, you will need to register so that the website can track your progress and give you a certificate at the end. And the last thing that we're so excited to share with you is a PC Connect app. This is an app that we've been working on with the developers for over a year now. And we're so excited that it is now currently available. You can go and create an account. It is online. This app allows parents to record their playtime sessions with their child and receive feedback about the number of pride skills and avoids that they use during that time. There's a video that we're going to show you that goes over all of it, but a few things I want to highlight. When parents start on the website, they're going to choose app, and this is what they'll see. There's options for how do you want to receive AI coaching. The first is a playtime session, which is what's available now. For this, they're going to start the recording. They'll do a 5-minute playtime with their kids, and then they'll receive feedback afterwards. The AI will analyze their verbalizations. In the future, they'll be able to choose training session, in which case they're going to get constant in the moment feedback from the AI with the type of skills that they're using. There's tips and reminders that the AI works. There needs to be no other sounds around. We want to turn everything off. And the parent always has to talk first. Otherwise, the AI is going to get confused about who's the parent and who is the child. And then there's also their privacy statements around the conversations and the report generation as well. For you as a therapist, this is very exciting. You can have an account and then give your ID to clients so that you can view their progress on the app. When you do this, you'll select a client name up at the top to see their progress report. There's a place where you can track the number of clients that you have. You can delete clients when they graduate from here as well. And you're going to have a unique code. As soon as you sign up, you will get this code. You just need to copy it and give it to your client, and then they'll have a place that they can choose to enter your code. You'll have to approve any clients before they become yours. This means that a random person can't just put your code in and be your client. You have to agree that they're actually your client. And then here you're going to be able to see the progress. You'll see the percentage of pride skills versus avoids for each of the 5-minute plays that your family does. You'll also be able to see the percentage of parent versus child talking and the parent satisfaction scores for how well they think their play session went. We have a video from the developer that we're going to show to you now.
Go to vipo.ai on your phone, tablet, or computer. On the homepage, tap the Start Your Free Session Now button to go to the Sign Up page. On the Sign Up page, fill out all required information. Select Parent, Caregiver, or Therapist, depending on your role. Enter your name, child name, if role is Parent, Caregiver, email, and create a password. Submit the form, then check your email to confirm your email address. A pop-up window will appear asking you to confirm your email or resend the link if you haven't received it. Check your email or spam inbox for a message from info@vipo.ai. This is the sign-in page. You'll need to enter the email and password you used when you first signed up. If you forgot your password, you can reset it by tapping on Request Password. A pop-up window will appear asking you to reset your password by entering your email address. Once you are successfully signed in, you will be able to access the app features. After signing in, you will see two features: Start Session and Progress. Tap Start Your Session in the Playtime session. You have up to 3 attempts per day to record a 5-minute play session. Typically, only one is needed, and the others are available in case you need to redo a session. A pop-up will appear asking if you're sure you're ready to start recording. Tap OK to begin the recording, or cancel if you're not ready yet. This message will show. When starting a session, the parent caregiver must initiate the conversation so that the app can correctly distinguish between parent and child. Tap OK to proceed. Note: if the child initiates the conversation, the app may mislabel the roles. You will then see a screen with a message asking for microphone access. You may click Allow to enable your microphone and begin recording your session. The session will then begin recording. Place your phone on the side, close to you during playtime session. The session runs for 5 minutes. You can pause the recording if there are interruptions, or cancel it if needed. Otherwise, you can submit it, or it will be automatically submitted at the end of the session. You will then be directed to the rating scale page. Select the option that best represents your child's behavior during the session, using a scale from 1 to 5. Once you've made your selection, click Submit at the bottom of the page to begin processing your conversation. Note: you need to complete this step in order for the conversation and rating to be processed. After you tap the Submit Conversation and Rating button, a loading screen will appear showing the status of your request. Note: you can stay on this screen or navigate away while processing completes. This step typically takes less than 2 minutes. If it takes longer, simply leave the page and we'll notify you by email when it's ready. To view your progress, click the Progress button on the home page or access it from the menu in the top right corner. The top section provides a summary of your progress. Based on the date selection, it will show the average percentages. You can select a date range to view your progress, and the charts will automatically update to reflect your progress over that period. Tap the plus icon to add a therapist. A pop-up window will prompt you to enter your therapist's unique code. Ask your therapist for this code. Note: once submitted, your therapist will gain access to your Progress tab, excluding any conversation transcripts. These conversation reports remain accessible only to you to ensure your privacy. After submitting your therapist's code, your Progress page will show a pending therapist approval status in the same box. This will remain until your therapist accepts your request to share your Progress tab with them. You can also cancel the request by tapping on the delete icon next to it. Once your therapist accepts the request, their name will automatically appear in the box on your Progress page, as shown in the image. You can also cancel the request by clicking on the delete icon next to it. Here is a description of the metrics. Parent satisfaction shows child's behavior. Positive parenting shows parents' usage of pride skills, praise, reflection, imitate, description, enjoy. Needs improvement shows parents' usage of negative talk, commands, and questions. Parent-child talking shows the balance of conversation between both. This progress chart helps you see how your positive parenting growth changes each day. Each vertical bar represents 1 day's performance. The green portion shows the percentage of positive interactions, and the red portion shows areas needing improvement. The up-down arrow next to each bar indicates how your positive parenting score has changed compared to the previous day. This detailed labels chart provides a breakdown of the specific labels within the positive parenting and needs improvement categories. Tap the Reports tab to view all your playtime session transcripts. From here, you can download or delete any session. These reports are encrypted and only accessible by you. Your selected therapist will not have access to them for privacy. When you open a report, you'll see a summary showing the skills you used in each category. This gives you a quick overview of your performance during the session. You can also download your transcript. When you scroll down, this is a sample of what your transcribed and coded PDF will look like. You'll see clearly labeled color-coded sections showing what you said and what your child said during the session. If you're the therapist, this is your view of the progress page. You'll see a box containing your unique ID code. Click on the box to copy the code and share it with your clients so they can share their progress data with you. You can accept or reject users' requests to access their progress page by clicking the Pending Client Requests box. You can use the Select Users dropdown to view all your current clients. You can select one or multiple clients from the list to view their data. If you select multiple clients, the data will be aggregated. If you want to delete your access to a client's data, click on the Delete icon in the Number of Selected Users box. A pop-up window will appear, asking you to select the client you want to remove.